When our family first moved to Romania about 8 months ago, we tried to take advantage of the nice weather, and we'd go on walks each evening and try to meet some of our new neighbors and learn a little bit about the culture. One night we were out, we met a new neighbor, and he asked us a couple questions. He found out that we're from the States. So are you guys just, you're here visiting? No, I said, we actually moved here. Wait a second, he said. You moved here from the States to Romania. Everybody I know is trying to move the other way, from Romania to the States. Like, why would you do such a thing? That gave us the opportunity to talk to our neighbor about the gospel and about how we're here working with a local Romanian church. It's a wonderful thing to be an outsider, because while on paper the Romanians might be very religious, it's more of an inherited religion for most of them. It's something that is their identity that they grow up with, but it's not something that they really talk about or they really think too much about. And so that was a wonderful opportunity for us to talk with our neighbors about the gospel, about how the priority in our life is to share that gospel with others, and to talk about God.
One afternoon, we had a Roma lady come and knock on our door and ask for some food. So the first time we gave her some food, a couple days later she came back and asked for some more. So we gave her a little bit more. And this happened about 3 or 4 times until finally one day she, of course, knocked on the door again. And we were both thinking, what are we going to say? What are we going to do? She just keeps coming back for food. And that's when we looked at each other and said, do we even know this lady's name? And it occurred to us that we came here to live incarnationally and to love on people. And yet here was one of our own neighbors, someone who is normally not seen, who is viewed as an outcast, knocking on our door. And yet we didn't even know her name. So finally we decided to invite her in to just have coffee with her. And after that, we sort of have developed a relationship with her. She's worked for us a little bit. And fast forward a couple months, and she was sitting at the table with us as we were ending our lunchtime family devotion. And during devotion, we were reading the Sermon on the Mount. So she got to hear what Jesus has to say. And after that was over, she started working, and I was asking her a little bit about what she knew about Jesus. And she told me, I've heard his name, but I don't really know anything else about him. I've never experienced that before. All the time in the States, anytime I would ever talk about the gospel with somebody, it was more about deconstructing the ideas that they already had about Jesus and church and God, so that I could then build up the correct gospel, the gospel of love for them. And yet here was a lady who would come knocking on our door, who normally is someone that does not receive love and attention in the culture, and someone whom we tried to kind of shoo away ourselves until Jesus convicted us and showed us that she's one of our neighbors too. And until we got to know her and realize that she doesn't know anything about Jesus either. It was a really cool experience to get to talk with her about the gospel. So we are Derek and Catalina Kreider, and we're serving here in Romania with our 3 children. Elin is 4 years old, Atticus is 2 years old, and we have a new baby, Denton, who is 4 months old now.
Yeah, so we have 2 main jobs here in Romania, and the first is to help grow the church, and the second is to support the church. And so the first job, to grow the church, we are trying to use and leverage our foreignness here and our living incarnationally to give us those unique opportunities, like we mentioned with the 2 stories that we already told, and just trying to strike up conversations and draw people into the community of the local church. The second thing is we are trying to support the church where they have ministries and activities going, and trying to help disciple individuals. So we're involved in Bible studies. Catalina just started helping with the
Worship team.
We are planning on we're planning an English camp for this summer, which is a pretty big hit here in the community. We are going to start working with the kids, kind of like a youth group, but a little bit younger, on Friday nights. And so we're really just trying to get involved with supporting the church and helping Romanian leadership move forward, which is kind of our team's mission, is to support the local church and to establish Romanian leadership.
Yeah. So there are some definite ways that you can be praying for us. First and foremost, please be praying for us with our language acquisition. For the whole time that we've been here so far, our main goal has been to learn the language, but that's going to be changing as Derek transitions into a little bit more of a full-time ministry role. And so obviously it's incredibly important that we continue to learn the language really well so that we can communicate well and learn to better communicate the gospel to this culture by learning the language. The second way that you can be praying for us is as we just continue the transition as a family, especially for our children. Our oldest daughter, Elin, has specifically had a lot of struggles moving here that we really did not expect, experiencing a lot of anxiety. And we've helped her work through that, and we really have seen a lot of growth and a lot of answer to prayer in that. But we would really appreciate your continued prayers just for our family, and especially Elin, so that we can really thrive here in Romania.
Yeah, so we just want to thank Christ Presbyterian for your encouragement and support, and we hope you guys had a wonderful Easter and a great missions emphasis here. So,
thank you so much.